Everybody, welcome to Visual Communication and Media. My name is Adam Rozeski. It's a pleasure to see each and every one of you. I hope everybody's had a great week so far. I hope you've taken a look at the lectures and the announcements. There's a lot of great information in there. Do keep in mind that for the first week, your discussion posts are due on Saturday, which is tomorrow night, and then your live lecture and your assignments are due on Sunday. Also, keep in mind as well that next week the discussions change back to initial post due on Tuesday and then reply post due on Saturday. So if you have any questions about that, let me know. Other than that, let's get to it. I want to get you guys some extra information that will help you out with your assignments this week. So over lecture, we talked a lot about balance and color, but we didn't talk about line too much and how they really focus on sensory communication. So let's get into that a little bit and give you some new information on lines and their usage and how they can play a part in people's understanding or their emotions that are tied, or their responses that are tied into looking at specific lines. So line is one of the basic forms of elements of communication. They direct the flow of content, they divide space, and they give an emphasis on a specific area. So each type of line represents a different kind of mood or sense. So depending on if something's like a bigger stroke or much more bolder, or if it's curvy, or if it's straight and rigid, they all have their own difference of visual standing. And as they're organized together, they can create specific response types. And that's pretty powerful if you're using the right message with it. That's why you tend to see a lot of bolder lines in like posters and for like rock concerts or sporting events or anything like that, or any type of like movie. You tend to see those really big fonts, big lines, really in your face, to where if you're talking to something that's more beauty, you see a lot more like delicate curves and different shades of lines that kind of flow well with artistic capabilities. So let's get into certain types of lines and how their response types go through that. So straight lines give the impression of strictness and rigidity. They tend to be organized a lot in a very consistent shape. And groups and companies use these straight lines to show organization reliability. You tend to see these a lot in like government facilities, hospitals, organizations, a lot of areas that really focus on consistency and reliability. So you tend to see these more in bigger companies that want to showcase professionalism, and that's where you tend to focus on that, and organizations as well. Definitely more rigid schools, like Harvard and all these areas. You tend to see more consistency within their designs. Now curved lines are meant to show playfulness and grace. These lines are more flexible. Now they put the viewers at ease, they allow trust, but that's because they're a lot more fun to use. And so a lot of times when you see curved lines in a image or in a border or some type of font, you tend to know that someone likes having fun or playing around with these areas, so it allows people to have some fun reading it as well. More flexible, and definitely can be bended to a different style of response type that really gathers a little bit more enjoyment. So you tend to see these a lot. Curved lines tend to show up in video games, borders a lot, unless it's like a serious video game. We tend to see curved lines a lot more in like books, especially like children's books. Those little areas right there, it really plays to a more fun art style. And so people look at this and they're like, oh, it's a little bit more curved, so they have a little bit more ease with it. Now there's diagonal lines. They're pleasant and stimulating the eye. They help direct a viewer's eyes, but like this image right here, if you use too many of them, they can cause confusion and tension and cause a little stress on the eye. So you got to be careful how you use diagonal lines, but they're great for pointing out specific areas and also for focusing the eye to where you want them to look at. So diagonal lines are very directional based, and they're used to promote exciting events a lot of times. So really, I think I was I want to take my kid in late February, to a monster truck show because he loves monster trucks, and it's just diagonal lines that just point straight to like specific boxes of images where the monster trucks are. So that's a big area to do that. Now thick dark lines, they're meant for boldness, they're used for confidence and strength, they're meant for groups to appear successful. So you see these a lot in like these big tech companies. You see big bold areas right there. Like I said, concerts, shows, sporting events. This is where it's like in your face right off the bat. Movie posters tend to use these a lot too. So Now, thin light lines, they're meant for delicacy and gentleness. They're meant for an organized look, not overbearing as well. Companies use these to showcase beauty without intimidation. You see this a lot in like apparel companies, especially with female-oriented apparel companies. They tend to go there, or with type of art studios, magazines that are meant for like home economics or anything like that. That's really where you tend to see light lines, thin light lines that pop out there. And then also group lines. But group lines are really interesting because if you put lines in a group or kind of more in like a data sheet, they're meant for exploration because they're used to showcase data. And when you take a look at that, that's where it's easy to understand the data, where you can find all these different elements. And companies use these to promote numbers and research to back up their findings and to sell their viewpoints a lot of times. So 6 types of lines right here, but with different response types based upon the organization and how they're really formed within the viewing of the images that you're trying to take a look at and see. And they're meant to support the response types that they want to target within those visuals and those images. So without that, it can be a little tough. But these are 6 good examples to showcase how lines can really impact a viewer's response type. Alright, so I just want to give you a little heads up on lines and how their importance are. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, let me know. Keep in mind, if you need anything or have any questions, feel free to answer or send me a course mail or anything like that. If you run any emergencies, please contact me through there. But other than that, I hope everybody has a great weekend. I'll take a look at your discussions and your grades. I know a few people sent in some assignments already, and I gave some feedback. Told them to take a look at the lecture. Please look at the lecture at the end of lecture. It will explain what I'm looking for, some pitfalls, and different areas of examples to go with that, so you do not run into any issues. That's a big thing. Other than that, that's all I got. Be safe, have fun, enjoy. Hope everybody has a great weekend. Looking forward to see everybody. Keep in mind, the lecture is on Tuesday next week, not Thursday, so I always have my lectures on Tuesday. But other than that, hope everybody has a great week. Enjoy, be safe, and take it easy. Hope to see y'all soon. Bye-bye.